Warning, don't listen if it's a podcast you want. This is a Chumcast. Just your basic gabfest among chums. A little news, some entertainment, an annoying opinion or two, and, if you're lucky, maybe even a chuckle.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
So it's time to buckle up. Whetstone Entertainment, in association with Is Chill Productions, presents Don't Listen, a basic Chumcast. And here are your hosts, Big Red and the Shebs.
Remember, everyone, just don't be yourselves.
It's showtime.
Go time!
Fire it up.
Wolverines!
Oh no. Is that how you're starting this one off?
Well,
You watched, that's an 80s movie, right? Did you really watch that?
Red Dawn! Wolverines!
All right. You watched Wolverines. All right.
When the Russians were attacking and all that?
Oh, yeah.
God.
They clearly wanted to get the farm belt, right?
You know who was hot in that movie?
Who?
Leah Thompson.
I don't know. Hot. I mean, I'm not.
God, and that little next door neighbor,
Hot?
little next door neighbor, little hotness.
Jennifer Grey was in that. She's probably, but I don't know,
And Patrick Swayze looked like he was at least 20 years older than everybody.
Absolutely. But he's the older brother.
See Thomas how Charlie Sheen was smoking crack up in the hills somewhere.
That's the. But of course, the old American enemy, Russia, but this time backed by the Cubans. So the Cubans took the central part of the U.S., while the Russians took everything else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was great flick.
You're
great.
a military historian.
Well, I'm great, 80s, right?
So
this is the only reason why we live right now is just to talk about the 80s.
Hello and welcome. You are listening to episode 2 of the premiere season of the Don't Listen Basic Chumcast. I am Big Red, along with my buddy the Shebs, inside the Malibu Grand Prix and Castle Golf and Games studios.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So if you want to talk about growing up in the Bay Area back in the early 80s, I believe, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm picturing 1984 as the peak of Malibu and Castle Golf and Games. For those of you who are not from the Bay Area, this is like a teenager's heaven from the 80s. Malibu Grand Prix had all of the race cars, right, where you could race the cars, around this track and get into all kinds of trouble. The fun of that was crashing. And, that was the whole fun of it, was going into the tires.
It was a big deal because you had to get a driver's license from them, right? You had to kind of get their little ID driver's license to make sure you were qualified to do it. So kids show you at school, it's like, ooh, you did that? Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. And then for the younger kids, they had like the Roadrunner course for, a little bit less of a model, but they were like Formula 1 modeled cars, right? That was on one side. Then there was a walkway where you would go to the other property, which was built like a castle, like an authentic castle. And then they had bumper boats. They had
the miniature golf, right? The whole thing. And then they had all the video games and arcades, and don't forget the excellent food.
All kinds of really delicious, healthy food. I mean, the nachos, everything. I mean, so we had to give the naming rights of the studio to those. I worked there. I worked at Malibu Grand Prix, and I had more friends that summer than I've ever had my entire life.
I had my two best friends in college, met there, and they actually, the guy and a girl, and they dated and they got married. Yeah, they both worked in the kitchen. It
was a big deal. So the arcade alone, the video arcade alone was such a big deal. But the two of these, the one that was at Malibu and the one that was over at Castle Golf and Games, were on another level. They were sick.
Yeah.
Those video arcades were sick. Just the video arcades alone. So every cool kid on the planet was there, right?
And it was the platform to see the inventions coming out of the arcade industry. It really was.
It really was. And I mean, I don't think those places went broke. That's been an empty lot for I don't know how long. So when I see that empty lot, it reminds me of how great it was to be a teenager growing up in the Bay Area during the 80s, because kids now aren't interested in bumper boats. They're not interested in driving Formula One cars. They're not interested in video games because they have they have phones.
I'm telling you, the Is Chill production staff here, they're the young ones in the studio here. They're looking at us like, what are you guys talking about? What's an arcade?
I didn't think they were going to show up today.
Now we had a very crowded last week. It was very crowded in here, and I'm very surprised. It's the same people, kind of crowded the whole booth. If you can picture it, there's a lot of people back there.
Yeah, and they were pissed. They were pissed. We had this. You missed it, but we had a production meeting this week. The VP from Is Chill was in town, and they were talking about your subject, the big thing that you were after, which was the promotions budget. You were all about the promote. Like, we need to be able to get swag, right? The T-shirts and the bumper stickers, right? We need to get all that, right? So they were waiting for you, and I'm like, he's not going to show up, dude. He's not going to show up.
I had a busy week.
You had your own stuff going on, and so they were like, well, we can't have them. I'm like, why can we not discuss?
Michael from Whetstone knew I wasn't going to. Did you?
I talked to him.
Okay.
I talked to him. He doesn't want to even show his face right now.
No. He knew I wasn't going to be there. I wasn't able to be there, and he still went ahead anyway. It's all right.
Yeah, he did. He there were some tempers flying about that, but I was like, hey, man, we got a whole season to get through.
It's
right?
fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great idea. We do need to get some T-shirts and get some swag and give some stuff away.
We got some new sponsor inquiries. That's okay.
That is okay. Actually, it was shocking. It was shocking enough to where the staff at Whetstone thought that it was like fake. Like, they did not believe the email inquiries for sponsorships.
Yeah. I think that's probably either due to Whetstone or Is Chill, kind of their early promotion. I don't think those people ever even have listened to episode 1 yet. So
exactly. So we're still good.
That's kind of what I think.
So we're still good. So, I as much crap as we give these guys, I do want to thank our production group at Whetstone and Is Chill, and all the sponsors, all the volunteers, and all the support that we've had so far. They haven't pulled the plug yet, because it's really made it possible for us to be here, hanging out today in the Malibu Grand Prix Castle Golf and Games Studios.
Oh, yes.
So thank you. And if you're checking out our Chumcast, if you're checking out the Don't Listen Basic Chumcast for the first time today, it's basic and it's really about nothing, right? It's me and the Shebs kicking back in a basic bullshit session.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to see here, right? That's why we're telling you from the get-go. That's why the brand is Don't Listen.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have nothing to contribute to society.
So, and I have nothing but negative stuff to contribute to society.
You've always been kind of a complainer on edge.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a grumpy old man.
That's what happens when you're like 6'9" and yeah.
6'6".
6'6"?
6'6". But I've got good teeth.
Good teeth. Unlike that George Washington.
The absolute last thing that I want to compliment on is my good teeth. So many other things. So the show is kind of Seinfeld-ish. It's kind of inspired by Seinfeld. It's everything and nothing all rolled up into one messy burrito. It is a hot mess. So like we're saying, don't listen. There are no algorithms to be found. There is no category unless when you go to look for us, wherever you're getting your podcast, if you look under the Just Suck list.
Oh, we're like on the top of that. We're on already. With like, after just one show. Yeah, we're like number one. With like a couple of really, really bad ratings. Yeah. And I can't wait for the mailbag segment today because we actually got some people who listened to season 1, episode 1, and sent us an email. Oh my God. They didn't believe that either. The Whetstone people on staff did not believe any of that. I think what's funny is that you usually have to go through it, right, and select the ones that you want to read on air. Oh, they did. They did. Well, actually, we only got 4, so they didn't have to do any selecting. It's going to be the 4 that we got. I think there were more than 4. Was there? I think there were more than 4, and they were very selective because there were. Rachel's saying there was more than 4. Exactly. We worked together a little bit on that. Like she was like, there's some we're not going to show. Okay. There's some we're not going to talk about. Well, you can't do all profanity. So coming up on today's Chumcast, I want everybody to be warned. Don't listen. But in case you do,
we are going to unveil 2 brand new segments. First of all,
2.
Yeah, we have some interaction going on.
Thanks for telling me.
The What the Fuck Power Poll.
Oh.
WTF for the PC group out there, but WTF does stand for What the Fuck. And that's a power poll. And that's going to be coming up a little bit later. We'll explain that. Also, we're going to welcome everybody to Crazy Town.
Oh, Crazy Town.
Talking about Ben Affleck and his supposed wife, J.Lo, who marries every celebrity that's available.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to investigate that a little bit. Shebs, you're gonna take charge of Yeah Buddy today, right?
Oh, I got the Yeah Buddy. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Fernando's.
Fernando's Mexican restaurant. Just stay tuned. It's gonna be a great Yeah Buddy.
So that's what's coming up. So that's why you should throw your device away or walk away at this point. It's just gonna go downhill from here. And here's segment number 1.
On this day in history.
On this day in history, brought to you by our friends at Shanghai Surprise, the Super Buffet.
Yes, and I tell you, you won't even get sick over there. It's a great buffet.
It is a great buffet, but with the buffet that has been set up here in the studio today, we can smell the food and how delicious it smells, but it doesn't look like anybody from the Is Chill production staff is going to leave any scraps for us at all.
I also question the timing of bringing the food in as it was after we started recording. So if we get anything, we might get like a pot sticker, an egg roll, maybe some egg foo young.
One of the problems in the world today is selfish people.
Yeah.
Selfish people, and they're right here circulating with big smiles on their faces.
And it's selfish people of a certain age demographic.
You know what? This is the Malibu Grand Prix Castle Golf and Game Studios.
Absolutely.
Right? So we do have that on them. They got to experience their smartphones, but we got to experience Malibu.
We did stuff in real life. They're just doing stuff virtually. Yeah.
All right. So enough of the sideshow. On this day in history, we're going back. Okay, can I get the classified documents, please? This is the wrong classified document.
Totally classified documents. Yep.
Let's see. Ryan. Thank you. There he goes. Oh, Ryan managed to give me the classified documents with his mouth full chomping.
He's one of the smartest ones back there, so that's probably why they selected him to bring you the documents.
A true multitasker.
Yeah, absolutely.
On this day in history, back in 1870, we're going to go way back.
That's pretty far back.
Well, 1870,
it's further than 1970.
1870, they were still smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and drinking moonshine.
Oh, probably, yeah.
They are not cool. Those two things, moonshine, cigarettes, not PC anymore in this world.
Have you ever had moonshine?
I've seen it, but I've never drank it.
Never had it either.
I think it could make this show a lot better.
Well, you have some Southern family roots.
Oh yeah.
So clearly you would, I don't, but that's why you would probably, you have had the moonshine before.
Yeah, they were running moonshine back in. My parents are North Carolinians, so they were definitely running moonshine right by my dad's little hut. He didn't really have a house; he had like a little hut that he lived in.
No, it's kind of like wood with like little big gaps in the outside stuff, like right, and just like in like hillbillies, right?
Definitely, They were hillbillies back in that day. That was before the invention of the word redneck, I believe.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So let's get back to on this day in history. The 15th Amendment was ratified in 1870. Do you remember what that is? Oh, don't lie. Oh, don't even try to lie.
No, there's no.
Yes, you
I was going to try to.
It has something to do with voting.
No, it's not the women giving the right to women to vote. It would be African Americans.
That's right. You would the 15th Amendment was ratified in 1870, and that was the right to vote no matter what your race was.
Okay.
Right? So no matter what the color of your skin was in 1870, you could vote.
So I remember from history classes that I didn't really quite remember was the 15th Amendment, but I remember when the African American population was given the right to vote, they actually not only began to vote, but they began to run for offices too. So it was, it certainly hit the ground running.
They should have. Look, we should have animals having the right to run for public office at this point. With the clown show that's going on right now, everybody and anybody should be eligible. I think pretty much anybody and everybody is eligible, right?
Yes, but it's going to be a false election. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
no matter what happens.
So that was On This Day in History, and it was brought to you by our friends at the Shanghai Surprise Super Chinese Buffet.
Yeah, the Shanghai Surprise. Again, they will guarantee you the right not to get sick.
The Don't Listen Basic Chumcast.
Haters love this shit. This is how we party.
Don'tListenChumcast.com.
I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Well, I got my mind on my money.
Welcome back. It's the Don't Listen Basic Chumcast. I'm Big Red, along with the Shebs, inside the Malibu Grand Prix Castle Golf and Games studios. We want you guys to stick around because we have a real babble fest coming up next. We're going to unveil the WTF, that stands for What the Fuck.
Oh, there you go. Language nester.
R-rated.
Yeah, okay.
The WTF, the What the Fuck Power Poll, is coming up a little bit later. Also, and that's brand new, also a brand new segment that we call Welcome to Crazy Town. We're going to talk about J.Lo and Ben Affleck's fictional Hollywood marriage.
Oh, they're so in love. It's so true, though.
Dude,
You're
fall
so
for
wrong.
that. You fall for the drama every single time.
It's a second marriage for both of them. They came back together. It's the second time. That means it's true.
We researched it, and we have proof that it's phony like baloney.
Okay. And is there a segment called There's No More Leftovers?
No, but there is a segment called The Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka.
Oh yeah, the booyah and the boom shakalaka.
Oh, nice.
So for the two people, maybe three people that are still listening because they have mental disorders, the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka is a fictional random draw. It's just a random. Where is the fishbowl, by the way?
Rachel has it.
Okay, Rachel, get your face out of the Chinese food for 2 seconds. Thank you. See, that's all you got. You got to be direct. You got to be direct with, especially with the Whetstone people. Direct.
Well,
okay. Pick a topic.
I like the Whetstone
So these are
guys.
topics.
They're our age.
These
I like
topics
those
are
guys.
probably not going to interest any of you guys at all. So this is all stuff that interests myself and the Shebs, and we're going to go ahead and pick it. We're going to randomly pick out of the fishbowl, and we have researched this stuff. So what do we got?
All right, there you go.
Oh, great. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
What is it?
It is the most legendary candy bars.
Well, we certainly officially now hitting rock bottom now.
Well, I just want to make clear that the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka is like a very wide variety.
Who came up with this topic?
Of topics? I don't know.
Candy bars, really?
We were banging around a whole bunch of different ideas, and this was one that just
This was not
stuck.
Rachel's idea. This was your idea, wasn't it?
I had something to do with it.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not going to accept full responsibility because it was a creative.
Rachel's giving a thumbs up from the booth. It was totally your idea. And she's actually agreeing with the
I thought we had something special, Rachel, and you're throwing me under the bus.
No.
Right. So the most legendary candy bars.
Okay.
So growing up in San Carlos, I want these people to know I'm very proud of San Carlos. San Carlos is in San Mateo County. We are right in between, right directly in the middle, the bologna of the sandwich of San Jose and San Francisco.
That's correct.
Right in the middle. And on one side, we have the bay, and on the other side, we have the Pacific Ocean.
That's true.
Paradise. It was a little bit more paradise than it is now, but it's still paradise.
It's people move here.
Oh my God. So great. So anyway, growing up in San Carlos, we had a store there called the Devonshire Little Store.
I'm from Belmont, next town over, and I heard of that store. Yeah.
And this is a real throwback because it was like a sort of like a large home, and the owners, who were Asian, lived upstairs and would just, wake up and come downstairs and open up the doors, and that was the store. And they had this, it was actually the first San Carlos club for kids that were under 12 years old and were riding their, we were either to and from school or we were stopping there to get a Coke or whatever on our mongooses or on our red line bikes.
It made 7-Eleven look like a superstore.
Yeah, it was
It was very small, very quaint, very specific.
And they had a huge variety behind the counter. There was a huge variety of candy.
They used every square inch of that space.
If you had a quarter, you were good. The red ropes, the Abba Zabbas were hot. Bottle caps, hot tamales were out half the time because they were a favorite. But when it came to the actual candy bars, first, again, if you had the quarter, you were good to go, and it was on like Donkey Kong. You could sit there all day. They had the big hunks. Remember the big hunks?
Yeah.
They were white.
Yeah.
They were white.
Yeah, it kind of threw you off. You found one in a park somewhere. You thought it was like dog droppings. That had been there for a while.
It's okay. You can say dog shit.
I don't want to say that. You
can say dog shit. There's no better. We also did, by the way, but one little side note. We also did some research on the history of swearing and the importance of swearing.
Is that a topic in the fishbowl?
It is. It should be in the fishbowl. I don't know what's in the fishbowl. That's why I made you put your hand in the fishbowl.
Well, I'm going to say a swear word now. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, it's not going to work. There's no weight to that. So there's a difference between dog shit
and dog poo-poo.
No, you said droppings.
Yeah,
Not good. I got to man up, dude.
It's kind of hard for me. Yeah.
So if you had a quarter, it was on like Donkey Kong at the Devonshire Little Store. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be upfront. This is going to be controversial. This list of top candy bars ever created, everybody's going to have a different,
So is this what you and Rachel came up with, or did you look this up? Is this like nationally ranked?
No. So there was actually, I think, Daniel and Charlie were in on this.
Okay.
There was like 3 or 4 of them. There were people from Whetstone, and there were the kids
too young.
from Ish Chill 2.
These Chill guys are too young. I mean, Michael and Doug probably have. They're like us, so they have.
So they headed up the research, right? So they were all over the web looking, and all that stuff is so subjective.
Well,
right?
Doug was. He's Michael's. Michael's bitch. So
they looked at sales.
Doug was doing that.
They looked at the distribution deal, which was all very interesting, right? When it all goes, which brands got into, the movie theaters. There was all kinds of different stuff.
Okay.
It took like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do this stuff. So what they came up with, number 5 is the Baby Ruth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
you throw one in a toilet, it looks like shit.
And there we go.
See, not bad. It felt good to say a swear word there.
It was a Baby Ruth in the Caddyshack pool, right?
There you go.
Number 4, the Heath Bar.
Really?
Baskin Robbins. You worked at Baskin Robbins back in the day.
Yeah, but Heath Bar Crunch, but a Heath Bar. I mean, a ranked candy bar? No way.
It's still one of that toffee is money, dude. And it is still one of my favorite flavors of ice cream to this day. I mean, I got turned on. Someone turned me on to that out of the blue, and I was like, wow, that's great.
As a Baskin-Robbins veteran here, we'll talk ice creams later, but yes, and we'll make it a segment.
What about the $100,000 bar?
That's good. That's a good one. But I mean, again, top 5?
I mean, there's a lot of them to choose from.
But wasn't that the same as the Reggie bar, or is that the Reggie bar different? Remember the Reggie after the 1970s, all the World Series stuff, Yankees home runs, and
I think that they started including celebrities on the packaging.
Okay.
Right? Something like that. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, I think we all can agree they're at number 2.
I certainly would put them at number 1.
It's not an actual candy bar, but it is shaped differently. But we had a little bit of a debate with even adding this onto the list, and I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, chime in at www.don'tlistenchumcast.com and let us know, is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, is that a candy bar or a candy?
Yeah, if you've got time to talk about that, go right ahead. Number 1 is Snickers.
Very fulfilling. Yes, Snickers would be my top 5.
You got a wild card? You got anything that didn't make the list?
I'm going back to childhood, man. The underrated whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah. I was a sugar freak. I would have eaten anything with chocolate on it at all.
Well, since I didn't swear, of course, my favorite would be like just a plain Hershey's bar. Good, just straight up chocolate. And you get the Nestle's Crunch going. That's a nice one to have. Oh, and then if you like the peanuts, you got the Milky Way.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention the Milky Way. How did that not make the list? You idiots!
Because you have a bunch of young people that don't know.
And Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, nice. Yeah, nice little wafer in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, still some of the favorites out there for the Halloween trick-or-treaters.
The Butterfinger?
Butterfinger was nice, yes. Especially when it would stick to your teeth and you'd be tasting that for like a couple hours after,
Yeah.
Even diving into the pool, you're still going,
And M&Ms aren't actual...
M&Ms, very convenient though.
Yeah.
Plain and peanut.
It's funny, when we were looking at all of this, the research, the distribution deals were Baby Ruth and M&Ms, right? So they got the master, they got the really big distribution deals, right? They had the money to distribute that candy in more places than the other guys did. So that makes a little bit of a difference.
There you go. And I think we're really riveting the audience right now with our chatter. So you're doing really well, Big Red, over there.
And that was the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka, and it was brought to you by our friends at the Flamingo Hills Resort and Spa.
Be careful of flamingos. They bite. Hi, everybody. It's the Shebs here. One of the biggest concerns that I have is really how long will Whetstone Entertainment fund this underrated Chumcast? It's like carrying a car door through the desert on a 110-degree day, knowing that if you get hot, you can just roll down the window, So, well, maybe not exactly like that, but I digress. But listen, we need your help to ensure our survival. So head on out to don'tlistenchumcast.com and consider sponsoring a segment or even just making a donation. So think about what it's worth to you to be entertained by Big Red and myself, and then add 20% and send a donation this way. The self-fulfillment you'll receive from donating will make you feel like a skeleton in a bar ordering a beer and a mop, or something like that. Note that portions of your donation will go to the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. Established in 2000 by the actor Michael J. Fox, the foundation concentrates on funding research and ensuring the development of improved therapies for people with Parkinson's. So, that should seal the deal. Ensure that a below-average Chumcast gets to stick around and entertain you while you contribute to the greater good of humanity. Visit don'tlistenchumcast.com, follow us on Facebook, send us a message, and please feel free to donate. The world is a better place with a variety of Chumcasts, so please, do your part.
Don't listen. It's a mind virus.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
walk away, and don't look back.
Welcome back. And I have one question. Did we lose the classified documents?
Yeah, they're still missing.
Who are you going to call?
Well, now I know.
Who are you going to call?
Well, it's Big Red, but I'm not going to say Ghostbusters. That's just too cheesy.
Ghostbusters, man.
That was a movie back in the day, wasn't it? I mean, that just took the whole U.S. by storm. Took the whole world by storm, didn't it?
Yeah, those are some talented guys.
Yeah.
And Ray Parker Jr. stole that tune from somebody. I can't remember who he stole it from, but he stole it from somebody. But Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis were probably, the top geniuses in comedy at that time.
Yes. Yes.
But we're going to move on.
Moving on.
Who are you going to call?
I'm calling Big Red.
Okay. Well, I'm not answering. So I want thanks for sticking around, by the way. This is the big show. This is the big Chumcast. It's not a podcast.
No, total Chumcast.
It's a Chumcast, and it's the Don't Listen Basic Chumcast. So thanks for sticking around. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to unveil our brand new segment, which is called Welcome to Crazy Town. We're going to talk about J.Lo and her fictional marriage to Ben Affleck.
Crazy Town.
They're both crazy. Once we get into it, you'll understand why. But first, I want to get into the What the Fuck Power Poll, which is being brought to you by our friends at Scuba and Shells Resort in the Bahamas. So what we need you to do is to go to the website. That's at don'tlistenchumcast.com and find the WTF poll. Vote on the poll, and below the poll, there will be an area for you to discuss. This is what we call interaction. This also
I like interaction. Yes.
Well, we kind of like it. We kind of don't like it. It is what it is, right? But it's going to be a little bit of fun. And we'll also offer some interaction on our Facebook page. You can find us there at Don't Listen Chumcast. They're on Facebook. So like and follow us there. On to the Power Poll. And earlier in our segment called The Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka, we discussed.
Yeah, there you go.
We discussed.
Yeah, now Rachel's impressed.
We discussed.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw her. She's getting on my nerves anyway right now.
Yeah.
So
a lot of head shaking back in the booth there from all the.
I don't care about
guys.
They're just here for the Chinese food. Okay. And by the way, the Chinese food, as we stated earlier, was supposedly it was from one of our sponsors, who was the Shanghai Surprise Super Chinese Buffet. Well, that is not in the area. So the Chinese food that these morons are consuming is from a local Chinese food place, restaurant, whatever you want to call it, that has not jumped on board and provided any sponsorship money, but they did provide us, supposedly. We're not going to get any of that. They did surprise us.
Oh,
food
nice. Okay.
It was nice.
That's good important safety tip there.
Yeah. So the Power Poll, go to don'tlistenchumcast.com, look for the Power Poll, and it's all about, we talked earlier on the Booyah and the Boom Shakalaka about the most epic, the most legendary candy bars of all time. So we're going to let you chime in. Go ahead and get on the website and let us know what you think the most epic candy bar was for you. And vote, discuss, and if you're buzzed and you're feeling a little bit generous, donate to our crappy Chumcast.
Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with the donation.
So, and coming up a little bit later, also, I told you we're going to do the Crazy Town thing, but right now it's time for the Shebs and Yeah, Buddy!
Yeah, buddy!
Which is our product endorsement segment, which is being brought to you today by our friends at Fernando's.
All right, this is the Shebs, and I'm going to be very specific here. But before I do, you need to think of one thing. What would you say to God if you saw him?
If I saw God, I would say, thank you so much for blessing me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, keep that in mind, because when you venture off to Fernando's Mexican restaurant in San Mateo, California, you're going to be in heaven. So please be prepared. Now here, I'm going to be very specific. Like I said, this is what you do. Okay, when you get there. Okay, you arrive, you grab a booth, and you order a Fernando's famous margarita blended with salt, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And you nurse that blooming flower while you snack on the traditional chips and salsa and just give the menu a courtesy reach around because you're not going to need it, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So after that first splash of Margot hits your lips, you'll become Frank the Tank and you won't be able to stop, I promise you. Anyway, so when it's time to order, this is what I want you to do. Just say, I'll have the tacos al carbon, all right? And what it is.
That's your go-to.
Oh, that's the go-to, right? It is this deep, really deep marinated steak that's just cut up with the onions and then the cilantro, and it's put into these warm corn tortillas with this guacamole spread put on it, folded over, cheese, red sauce, everything baked in onto the top. Oh my God. Oh my God, it is so delicious.
I'm starting to get a little bit hungry.
All right, so you order that. That's what you're getting, okay? And you get these it comes with 3 of them. They're really big, and then you get the rice and the bean. Oh, it's fantastic. Now,
can you finish the plate?
Now,
can you finish the plate?
That's it. When the order's in, right? You keep enjoying that margarita while another Fernando's special, their vinaigrette coleslaw, comes for a visit. It is so unique. It's like finding a purple squirrel. I mean, it really is. So let that work its way through you while the margarita continues to soothe your palate. And then when the tacos al carbon arrive, get yourself a second margarita, and please please touch the plate because it's hot. It's really hot. And then when you're all done yelling, ouch, that's hot, you work your way through the meal, which is really ranked number 1 in heaven. It really is. And say hello to God while you're there, and feel free to ask him all the questions that you want because you're just going to be seeing him as you eat this meal. It's fantastic. And for a bonus, this is what I like to do. You get a side of get yourself a future cardiac event. Get yourself a side of their of the warm corn tortillas and slather them up with some butter, and then sop up the remnants of the most delicious meal you've ever had north of Chula Vista. I swear to God, it really is.
Sopping it up.
I'm telling you, Big Red, this meal combo's so good that if I was on death row, it's going to be Fernando's and Village House Pizza as my last meal request. Oh, yeah,
right? I'm in.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, note that Village House, it'll be another, yeah, buddy. Oh, yes, it will definitely be another, yeah, buddy. But Fernando's Mexican Restaurant, 6337th Avenue in San Mateo, right off the El Camino. Don't tell them the Shebs sent you because they'll have no idea who you're talking about. And if they did, they might question why you're listening to such a horrible chumcast, I tell you. But Fernando's, where all attractive people, like myself, eat.
And that was Yeah Buddy, brought to you by our friends at Fernando's Mexican Restaurant in San Mateo.
Basic Chumcast.
Pass me more of that damn awesome sauce.
Where's the awesome sauce?
Wolverines!
Still at it. Here we go.
Buckle up! We're almost done with the Chumcast. Have you guys stuck around? Or if you're just, I don't even know why you stuck around, to be honest. You should have already broken the device or unplugged This is the Don't Listen Basic Chumcast. I don't even know what to say at this point. We have, well, I'll tell you that my name is Big Red. I'm here with the Shebs, and we are in the Malibu Grand Prix Castle Golf and Games Studios. And coming up in just a few minutes, straight ahead is our email, our correspondence.
We actually got something from the first show.
Holla!
Now, they gave us 4 here to read, but and Rachel's thinking there's more, but I don't know. I'd be a little surprised. But anyway.
There was, I know for a fact that there was more. But,
okay.
But what they're doing is probably, it's probably classified.
Okay, yeah, here you go. Classified documents.
Classified documents are still missing.
You're kind of sticking with that one, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. It's ingrained in my brain, dude. That's all they talk about. Classified documents. Everywhere there's classified documents.
Okay.
And we have more classified My idea of a classified document is a Playboy magazine, Pam Anderson.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for.
Let's search your house for that.
Oh, there'll be plenty. Trust me. I'm a collector. So right now, let's get into, we're going to unveil our brand new segment called Welcome to Crazy Town.
Welcome to Crazy Town. All aboard!
Oh, no.
Which is being brought to you guys today by our friends at the Flip Flop Shop. And we're going to talk about this fictional marriage between J.Lo and Ben Affleck.
Fictional. Why are you saying fictional out of the gate?
Well, because let me just tell you. So don't get me wrong. I think J.Lo is beautiful, and I think she's super talented, and I think that Mallrats, Ben Affleck has Chasing Amy. He's done some great films, but the two of them are probably the biggest brands, the biggest celebrities, actors, whatever you want to call them. They're probably the biggest brands in Hollywood, right? They're definitely top 5, right?
Yeah.
And they're definitely not hurting for, any dough or any mansions or, any material items, right? But they don't have any, they want us to believe that they don't have anything to sell us. There's nothing to sell us here. They're in love. They're Romeo and Juliet. They are, the prince.
Isn't there a chance that they actually are in love?
There is a chance. I would say that percentage is very small. Hollywood is a very disgusting place. So I would say, and it's very, very, I would say that it's a low percentage. I'm not going to say 10%, but I would say it's a low percent. And let me build my case.
All right.
Right. Now this is this research actually got very interesting because I was a lot like you going in. I don't love Ben Affleck, but he's our age. He's good. He's made some great movies, some entertaining, and he was the independent king. He made these independent films, right, for no money at all.
Right. No, I mean, I'm surprised you said Chasing Amy out of the gate, but Good Will Hunting first, right, out of the gate, right?
Yeah, and he seems like he would be a great guy maybe to hang out with. Go have a couple beers, hang out.
In a Bostonian way.
But well, we'll get into Boston too. So there's some fiction going on here. So I don't know if you remember the Bennifer egg, but that Bennifer egg, when everybody in the tabloids was using the word Bennifer, that was hatched after Ben Affleck and J.Lo co-starred in 2 box office bombs.
Yes, horrible ones.
Jersey Girl and Jiggly.
Yep.
Right? So the setup here is that, both of them were seriously in dire need of a career boost. They needed something. So my theory is that J.Lo, who has a little bit of history of hooking up with celebrities and selling it to the media, right? So I think that she and I could be wrong, but it was sold, and Ben Affleck is all of a sudden appearing in her video, which was Jenny from the Block, right?
Yeah.
And she's selling it like there's some kind of a couple, right? They're selling that video, and that video reaches the world. That is number 3 worldwide. So immediately the curiosity, people's curiosity is sort of going a little bit. Then we have the announcement of the dating, then the engagement, then the breakup. All of that is very sellable in drama land, which is Hollywood, right? All of that is definitely very sellable. So the engagement, the breakup. I really think that they should give J.Lo an Oscar, like an award for the amount of relationships that she has been able to convincingly, very convincingly sell to the American public, right? Now, this is kind of a no-brainer because the paparazzi is giving them all sorts of, publicity, free publicity. This is a great way. Marriages in Hollywood are great. Ask Brad Pitt. These are great ways to get your brand established and stir up the drama and get all the attention on you, right? So, I just think that there are some other things that we need to look at. As for Ben, so you're talking about Ben being from Boston, right? Another thing that Ben sells is that he's from Boston, Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics. I'm Boston. He was born in Berkeley. Yeah. And his name is not Ben Affleck. His name is Benjamin Geza Affleck Bolt.
Bolt?
So Bolt, B-O-L-D-T. So there are some cracks. There's some fiction being blended in with Ben, right? So, so I don't know whether his list of films or his list of scandals are more impressive, but we don't have time for all that. I just want to just to say that in short, like just real quick, his best movies are great. Like I've already said that. I think his best movies are great, but his top scandals might be even better. Like banging the nanny in the shower. That's fantastic. And all the chicks that came out and talked about him, grabbing their asses on set. Like, and he blamed it on being an alcoholic. He said that he's been an alcoholic. He was, couldn't handle life. He was all wasted all the time. He's been an alcoholic since he was 15 years old. So there's some drinking issues going on with him. But J.Lo, her little fictional stories are, she's 53 years old, and I don't know a 53-year-old who looks that good, right? But she constantly says that she's had no work done, that all of this is about living right. It's about her makeup line, whatever. One of her other big relationships, Aroyd. And that came when everybody hated Aroyd.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Rodriguez, right? So he needed the publicity more than she needed the publicity at that time.
So this is all contrived stuff, huh?
Well, we're almost, I think that it is, right? It's like a no-brainer. It's like a no-brainer. Why would they not, they're actually, the marriage is actually an industry. Like it brought A-Rod back. Like him being affiliated with J.Lo got him a job as an analyst on Fox when everybody knew that he was cheating in baseball, right? So it works in a lot of these weird ways. But I got to give J.Lo credit. She sells like a champ. 6 engagements, and Mark Anthony was one of the guys that she married.
That's right. Has kids with him.
But his real name is E.T. He looks like E.T. She's not marrying him because he's a good-looking guy or because he's great or whatever. She's marrying him because he is one of the wealthiest guys on the whole planet at the time. He's one of the most successful, wealthiest guys on the planet at the time. And P. Diddy, he wasn't cheap.
Right.
Right? P. Diddy, another guy. So,
but J.Lo had her own cash, but I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if it's ever enough. Right? I don't know if when you get to that level, if it's ever quite enough. So here's the kicker. And this is all theory, right? This is all theory. Everyone gets to believe whatever they want to believe. This is just a freaking theory that I'm throwing out there. So she married a Cuban waiter who had no money at all.
I remember that.
He had no money at all.
I actually remember that. Yes. First
and
husband.
The marriage ended in a year. It was a quickie. And he started to write a book about all of this stuff that I'm talking about right now. Probably that's speculation, but about her manufacturing, marriages and love and romance and selling it to the media. And she sued his ass. And the book never made the light of day. It never made it out. So she sued him, and she probably had to give him some money, some hush money on the side. A waiter, the one guy that she married that had no money at all.
Mm-hmm.
Could have gone a lot of different directions, but I I'm just thinking that these guys are definite residents of Crazy Town. They might even be on the board of supervisors, J.Lo and Ben Affleck, because they're living like this imaginary, everything's been sold. The weddings, the breakups, the divorces, everything has been sold. I mean, front page, National Enquirer, right? E.T., they are the story in Hollywood.
Boy, the good news is the NFL is not rigged, but
let's not get into that one.
But I get your point. I'm sure there are people who say this is good for you. You do this, make sure that leak out where they're going to be and that kind of stuff. I certainly get that, but and
people love the drama, right? They love the soap opera industry has been going on for forever. People love the drama, right? It's like building a character. It's like the Romeo and Juliet story, right? The two top actors. It's kind of a lot to try and believe, especially when these two, it's so easy. I mean, J.Lo is very experienced at this.
Maybe they like each other. I think
maybe they do.
I know, but it's not. You've made a pretty good case there. I get it. I get it from what you're looking at.
They're on the board of supervisors at Crazy Town.
All right,
and that was our brand new segment called "Welcome to Crazy Town," and it was brought to you by our friends at the Flip Flop Shop.
Time to unplug and run.
Haters love this shit.
This is how we party.
SDFU and GDFO time.
Hey, must be the money
or the coin.
Welcome back. It's the Don't Listen Basic Chumcast. I am Big Red, and he is the Shebs.
I am.
And we're in the Malibu Grand Prix Castle Golfing Game Studios, and we're wrapping things up.
Wrapping things up like it's Christmas already.
This is actually, if people are actually going to comment, if we're going to get some feedback, if they're going to email us and stuff, this is going to be kind of fun.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this actual moment here. I see Rachel there with the
thank you
with the letters.
Thank you.
Can
I get a plate of food, please? Just it's cold already. Can I get a little plate of that? Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that smile. She serves us with a smile.
Yeah, okay.
You know you want some food too.
Yeah.
It's almost gone.
I don't have a Rachel.
I don't either.
Well, she saved you a plate of food.
She's a hustler.
That's what happens when you're second billing, like me. You're always left out.
You're not always left out. I'm always fighting for you, bro.
I appreciate that.
So what do we got here?
Big Red fighting for the Shebs since 1985.
That's right, since 1980. Actually, I think back when we were playing basketball in like 5th grade, I think I was sharing the rock with you a little bit.
You were, yeah, you were.
So don't cry me a river. Holla!
All right.
I also came up with the name of this segment. Holla!
Holla! Holla! Holla! Holla! Holla!
Yeah, that's not bad. It's amazing that you didn't go further in life.
It can get better. If you guys want to contact us, go to the website, don'tlistenchumcast.com, and hit contact and give us your feedback on the show. Honest feedback is what we love.
Okay, so we have 4 here. You know that there was more than 4 though? See, that surprises me.
Well,
after one show,
what I would like to do, my pitch on this segment was for this to be completely natural, right? That they would we could, open up the computer, take a look at these things, and then just read them. But the Whetstone people actually went through, filtered, did the whole thing, and then gave us what they felt was appropriate, which is a bunch of crap. I mean, I don't care. We're telling people not to listen anyway.
Yeah.
Don't listen.
Yeah.
Right? So who cares if the people that are listening hate us?
But by these emails, we're like ranked number 1 with losers everywhere.
That's true.
So this actually says so there's actually one interesting. I'm just looking through this for the first time. There's actually one out of the Bay Area. We actually have a national following apparently. Well, already.
Okay. It's streaming or worldwide.
All
like
right.
people can hear us wherever they want, right? Even though we're saying don't listen, that this is not quality stuff. Obviously, people are not listening to us anyway. But before we get into the feedback that we got, I want to encourage people to go to the website don'tlistenchumcast.com and give us your feedback. Don't filter it. Don't try to be polite. Just give it to us. That's the way we like it, right? Yes. And one other item up for bids here is the sponsor of the segment. It is Dogs Only Retail Suppliers are the sponsors of Holla.
But God bless them, but I've never heard of them.
I haven't either. We're not supposed to
I know,
say stuff like that.
But I've heard of the other ones, but
we're gonna get in trouble.
Okay.
Don't comment on that. It's just a mention.
Here, you take 2. You take these 2, and I'll take these 2.
Okay, so you want me to start it off with Saeed?
Yeah, go ahead. Here and random. Whoa, I got the long one.
Okay, so Saeed is from Berkeley, and his is enjoyed the Chumcast. More cowbell, please. So he's probably
cowbell segment was good.
So he's probably a 50-pluser.
I like that. All right, we have Mindy, and it says we look. So from Cumberland, but which Rachel's saying in a note here is just right outside of Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So Mindy felt our launch episode was okay, but she enough talk about George Washington's teeth. She didn't care for that segment. So
we're not in charge. We're not in charge. So Mindy, thank you first of all for your comments.
That was. She said okay, but point taken on the George Washington teeth, right?
Well, I'd like to see your teeth.
But my point is, if we did something a little bit more, current, like Franklin Delano Roosevelt's teeth, maybe she would have liked that even better.
That's a good point. I'm open to that.
Just saying.
But I'm just going to say this in defense. I don't want to come across as being totally defensive. But I will tell you that the point of the George Washington bad teeth segment was that we should all be thankful that there's a dentist on every street corner now, and there's no excuses for having shitty teeth because George Washington suffered his whole life. That was the theme.
Yes.
That's a positive, family-friendly theme.
I agree. Hope maybe Mindy will be able to respond to your response to her response.
So even though I was trying not to be defensive, I think I was defensive.
Yeah, well.
What am I defending? The Don't Listen Chumcast?
But like I said, that Eleanor Roosevelt has some great molars.
Funny. Not funny.
Eleanor Roosevelt was a transvestite.
But with great molars.
Can we use that word, transvestite?
No.
Well, gender neutral?
Well, dog droppings is a stretch for me, but yeah.
Oh, we live in a bubble. Stacy from Gilroy.
No.
No? It says Stacy from Gilroy.
Yes, but that's on your summary page. That I have her thing here. You have.
Oh, I got Damon.
Yep.
Okay. So it's kind of people can't see this, but it's kind of difficult when you have buzzards freaking circulating around us, telling us they're throwing this stuff in front of me at the last minute, and you're supposed to be in charge, Shebs.
I'm not in charge.
You're supposed to be in charge of this segment.
Well,
Yeah, you are. Don't shun the responsibility.
I'm still reading through Stacy's. She actually wrote stuff.
Well, Damon is from Fremont, which is local. It's right across the bay. And he says he loves Circle Star Theater and that he was able to see Sonny and Cher there. So,
Damon? Is that a real name?
Damon, yeah.
Damien.
No, I don't know if people use their real names anymore.
Yeah, point taken. Yeah.
Oh, see, they're talking in the hallway about us again.
They are talking in the hallway.
I'm just,
No, there we go. All right. So,
what do you think is going on out there?
I don't know.
It sounds like a disagreement.
I don't know if you could hear it through the mics here, but there's people out in the hallways who are actually being pretty.
Did I get the wrong name again? Is that was I not supposed to read that feedback?
Marcio's out there quieting him down out there.
So I will just tell you that I do know that there were many more emails that we got, but those were the ones that they thought were politically correct enough for us to use.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing those other ones, but Stacy from Gilroy.
I don't understand why you get Stacy from Gilroy and I don't get Stacy.
Because I know how to read.
Okay.
She wrote a bunch of dribble, to put it nicely. It's I appreciate the effort, Stacy. Most people just kind of sent one or two sentences and not. This
What does she have to say?
Basically, she agrees we suck. Facebook page needs some work. If I have to summarize her comments, she agrees we suck. So,
yeah. Well, so great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stacy. And Stacy's email was brought to you by Prozac. Clearly, she needs some
Prozac or some moonshine.
Yes. Or the Bon Jovi song "It's My Life," but it's now the lyrics have been changed to "Get a Life."
All right, so that does it for the Chumcast today. Thanks for joining us. If you guys managed to stick around, we certainly do appreciate it. You can always like and follow us on Facebook, and we will catch you next time. So thanks for being with us, and just remember that everything that we want is on the other side of fear.
Bye, Felicia.
Don't listen. A Basic Chumcast has been an exclusive presentation of Whetstone Entertainment in association with Is Chill Productions. Subscribe, follow, like, and share us while on your favorite social media hangouts and our YouTube channel. We're not into begging, but if you like us, review us and support us by continuing to check us out on your favorite podcast platforms. Find more fun and hit us with your feedback at don'tlistenchumcast.com.
Yeah, that's fantastic.